Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jewel Wilson, and in this video, I'll be providing an overview of my approach during my guided teaching practice. So, science is the systematic study of the natural and physical world through observation, experimentation, and evidence based reasoning to build knowledge about how the universe works. It is fun, engaging, and interactive, so that is why I chose this subject. The plan of approach for this science unit on the interterrestrial relationship of plants and animals was grounded in the discovery based, or better known as inquiry based, teaching method, which emphasized active learning through student driven questions and the construction of knowledge through meaningful experiences. Across all four lessons, pupils were encouraged to explore, discuss, and reflect on concepts rather than receive information passively. Lessons were sequenced from simple to more complex ideas, beginning with an introduction to the concept of a food chain, then progressing to the organisms present on a food chain known as producers and consumers. The lesson then dived further, delving into food chains from different habitats and identifying the diets of animals on a food chain. Each lesson followed a similar structure: an engaging introduction, hands on activities using concrete materials, guided discussions, and independent or group tasks. This allowed pupils to build new knowledge based on their prior experiences. The target group used in this study consisted of 25 fourth grade students, 6 girls and 19 boys. The learners who were in this target group are between the ages of 8 and 9 years old. 90% of these learners reside in the Lusignan area, while 10% reside in Buxton and the Good Hope vicinity. The name of the school that I am attached to is Lusignan Primary School, and I have been teaching here for the past year. Lusignan Primary School, formerly known as Lusignan Anglican School, is located in Lusignan on the east coast of Demerara. The first head teacher was Mr. George, who led the school for many years during the 1950s and 60s, and he made it the top school of East Coast Demerara at that time. Today, Miss Marcia Harris is the acting head mistress. This school presently has 32 teachers alongside Miss Marcia. We have an acting deputy headmistress, or better known as a DHM, Miss Nicola Adams, a graduate senior assistant mistress who is the supervisor of grade 3 and 4, 8 senior mistresses, 1 literacy officer, followed by 15 assistant mistresses, 3 temporary qualified mistresses, and 2 temporary unqualified mistresses, and also 1 teacher's aide. How I develop my individual study kit materials: I develop them using recycled and craft materials. Each item was designed in a large format and featured bright, engaging colors along with familiar animals to capture pupils' interest and engage recognition. This organized arrangement facilitated easy access to the materials and supported smooth transition through lessons. The overall process of constructing and organizing the materials took approximately 2 weeks, with some interruptions in between this period. During lesson 1, a visual aid was used to introduce the concept of a food chain. The visual aid showed a simple example using familiar plants and animals, which helped pupils understand how energy passed from one living thing to another. Pupils were engaged and able to identify the organisms in the correct order. Differentiated worksheets were used to cater to below average, average, and advanced learners, ensuring that all pupils could participate meaningfully. Class discussion was used to activate pupils' prior knowledge, and pupils responded to oral questions and repeated the definition in their own words. Pair work activities allow pupils to arrange simple food chains, reinforcing understanding. Overall, the lesson was effective as most pupils demonstrated a clear understanding of a food chain and how it works. Materials for lesson 2 focus on helping pupils understand and distinguish between producers and consumers. A variety of pictures and flashcards showing plants and animals were selected to illustrate examples of producers and different types of consumers. A chart was prepared to display clear examples, allowing pupils to visually compare and classify living things as producers or consumers. Differentiated worksheets were also prepared for this lesson to support pupils of varying abilities. These included matching activities, classification exercises, sentence completion, and sorting tasks, enabling students to identify, label, and group producers and consumers correctly. These materials supported active participation and reinforced the lesson objectives through both visual and written activities. Materials for lesson 3 were prepared to help pupils understand food chains from different habitats. Terrestrial and aquatic food chain models were designed to visually demonstrate feeding relationships in land and water environments. Animal picture cards were selected to support pupils in grouping animals according to their habitats and identifying their roles within a food chain. A short video on habitats of animals was used on an introductory activity to activate pupils' prior knowledge and spark discussion. Worksheets were differentiated to support varying ability levels and included activities such as grouping animals, drawing and labeling animals from terrestrial and aquatic food chains, and identifying food chains. Drawing, paper, pencils, and crayons were provided to allow students to express their understanding creatively. A fishing game was also used to conclude this lesson and to help reinforce content. Materials for lesson 4 were prepared to support pupils in identifying the diets of animals on a food chain. Models of a food chain were used to visually demonstrate feeding relationships, and help pupils see clearly how animals obtain their food. Charts and food flashcards showing animals and their food sources were also used to assist pupils in classifying animals as either herbivores, carnivores, or omnivores. Differentiated worksheets were also used and included to cater to varying ability levels. These worksheets contain activities such as matching animals to their diets, labeling food chain diagrams, and classifying animals as herbivores, carnivores, or omnivores. Overall, the materials for lessons 1, 2, 3, and 4 were constructed to promote hands-on learning, differentiation, and effective classroom management while reinforcing pupils' understanding of plants and animals. Thank you.